it's Melissa from Melissa's Creations here, coming to you on Facebook Live for Stamping Saturday Session 1. I am so excited to get started on Stamping Saturday. I have been waiting all month. Well, we're in September and it's only been 3 days so far, but I've been waiting all month since the last time I posted my Stamping Saturday to show you guys some really fun projects, get crafty with it today, and just have some fun with some new products from the 2016 holiday catalog. I'm so excited. Look, I've already started putting my little tabbies in it and getting everything on to my wish list. There are some really, really great products in here, and the first 2 samples of the day that we will be doing on this session 1 are going to feature products from the Halloween Night Suite. I love this suite, so much fun, so exciting. Spooky Fun is the stamp set we're going to use today. You'll see that in action in just a moment. I will tell you a little bit about this suite. First of all, you can see all of these wonderful, amazing samples. There are so many fun things that you can do this Halloween to wrap up treats for your little ghouls and goblins. So the specialty designer series paper, Halloween Night, is shown here. It does contain 2 pieces of basic black cardstock, 12 by 12, that have a silver foil kind of embossed feel to it. Very, very awesome. And we also have some washi tape, enamel shapes, and baker's twine. So there are a lot of really fun embellishments. We are using the new baker's twine on the project today. We have 2 to show you this morning. This is the Happy Halloween bookmark. I really like how you can take the layering ovals framelits and create shapes. This is my pumpkin using the ovals, and we have our little bat up here in the corner, as well as the duet banner punch is featured on here with that Happy Halloween sentiment. So that is the first project we will get started with this morning. And the second project, I love this card. This is a DIY-DSP. So it's a do-it-yourself designer series paper using watercoloring with the aqua painters. I am so excited. This is probably, I think, one of the first projects that I've used with those aqua painters, and I'm just going to show you quickly how I got that paper made. And we have our fun little sentiment down here, have some spooky fun. So those are the first 2 cards. Without further ado, let's turn you around and we'll get started on our first 2 projects of the day. So bear with me a moment while I get you situated. The first project I have to share with you today is this adorable bookmark. I love, love, love the bookmarks. So handy to pop into your catalog and quickly turn to a page that you want to reference. So adorable. Love, love, love the bookmark. So we're going to get started with that. And the materials that I am using today include a piece of basic black cardstock for our base of our bookmark. This measures 2 inches by 5 inches. I also have a piece of the designer series paper from Halloween Night. And on the back is this beautiful orange. That would make lovely pumpkins, wouldn't it? So I'm using the polka dot side today. I do have a few scraps of paper here. I do have the basic black so that I can cut out my little bat. And I am actually using some of our Peekaboo Peach to cut out the pumpkin and the banner behind our sentiment. So I have some Whisper White scraps so I can do the sentiment here. And also you will need some old olive scraps. I have already pre-cut these, and these are dies out of the Flourish Thinlits dies. So I went ahead and cut the vines, and I also am going to include a leaf on this bookmark because I think that that is super cute. And that is all of the supplies so far. So let's go ahead and start stamping, punching, and big shot cutting. So this card goes together super quickly, this bookmark rather. Goes together super quickly. So I have already mounted my sentiment Happy Halloween on my C-size acrylic block. I'm going to grab the basic black Stampin' pad. We will get our sentiment going. How's everybody's Saturdays? Hi, Sim. Thanks for joining. So I am just going to stamp that right around this section down here. I'm grabbing my Duet banner punch, and I will be punching that out with the one below here. So we'll bring this in, and I did add a slight curve to that photopolymer stamp when I put it on my block so that I could get the words on there the way I wanted them. And now we will also punch out of a piece of that scrap of the Peekaboo Peach. I'm going to punch out the top banner so that we can layer and have a beautiful banner going on. So that's that piece there. Okay, so believe it or not, that's the only stamping we're going to do, but we will be doing some sponging. So I'm going to grab my Peekaboo Peach. This is one of the 2016. Hi, Grandma. Thanks for joining. This is one of the 2016-2018 in colors. This is a gorgeous color, and I love how it works with this bookmark. So I'm just going to do a little bit of sponging around that banner, just to give it a little bit of dimension. Now we won't see much of this bottom section after we get to layering, so I'm not going to bother sponging that part. Okay, we will do some more sponging after we get our other shapes cut out, so I'll set that aside for now. I'm going to layer this on top. Now for the layering of these particular banners, I really like using the Tombow, the multi-purpose liquid glue, because I get to kind of play around with it and manipulate it after I put it onto the card. So I am using just a little bit of that multi-purpose liquid glue, and what I'm going to do is match up the bottom edge here and then just kind of move it around until it is where I want it. And I actually like that. I was able to do that pretty quickly. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so there's our banner all ready to go. Now I'm going to bring in my scalloped tag topper punch and my piece of basic black that measures 2 by 5 so that I can punch out the top to my bookmark. Look at that. So easy. Easy peasy, guys. I love that tool. It is amazing. Okay, now we are ready to start cutting out some more pieces on the Big Shot. So I will bring that in quickly so that I can get that going for you guys. And like I said, I've already pre-cut these 2 pieces to save a little bit of time. And these are using the Flourish Thinlits dies. So many wonderful dies in this set. You can see the little leaf here, and this is my vine for my pumpkin here. So set those pieces aside, and we will get ready to bring in our Big Shot. Here we go. All right, so cutting out the ovals, not a big deal at all. You just put your paper on, put your framelit on, and boom, ready to go. And I'm also going to cut my bat out at the same time, right here. And I do need 2 more of those ovals, so I'll run these guys through, and I'll have to run that Peekaboo Peach through one more time. Hi, Tammy. Thank you for joining. So excited that you're here. All right, the bat is done, and I will run the oval through one more time. Here we go. You can see how quickly this really does go. It's really fast. Okay, and there is my total of 3 ovals. I've already pre-done one of them. So now I can get my Big Shot out of the way. That's all we are doing for this specific project with that tool. I will bring my mat back in, and we can start assembling our bookmark, going together rather nicely. So I will bring in all of my pieces, and here is my sample here. Let's bring you guys in a touch more. There we go. So again, I'm going to do a little bit more sponging with that Peekaboo Peach, and I am going to sponge around the edges of those pumpkin pieces. Now, depending on which one you put where, So you can see on this sample here, you really don't need to get the inside of these two pieces, and I did also use some smoky slate to darken up that edge and give me a little bit more of a shadowed look. So we'll just take this on the last pumpkin piece here just to kind of give it some dimension. I really enjoy the way the sponging works with that. So now I will bring in my smoky slate, and I'm going to choose which pumpkin piece is going to be on top. So let's just say this guy is going to go right on top like that. I'm going to give him the most dimension on both sides, and don't forget the bottom, and a little bit more over here. Now, since you're only going to see these edges, those are the only edges I really need to focus on the pumpkin. So I'll do the bottom and the side. And you can see that it just gives it a lot more dimension, and I just love the way that the sponging looks. So here we go, getting closer to being ready. And there's our pumpkin that is going to go right on top like this. Beautiful. Okay. So let's start gluing these bad boys together. I am going to use my snail and just run a little bit of that on my designer series paper. And this paper, I don't think I mentioned, this measures 1 7/8 by 4 inches, the designer series paper. Okay, so now I'm going to put my pumpkins down, and I want to put my 2 edge pieces down first. So I'm just going to run a little bit of snail here. Now, depending on the shape of your pumpkin, you can put them as close or as far apart as you like. I would recommend laying your pieces out first to see if you like your shape. So I am just going to put those 2 pieces down, and then I'm going to pop the 3rd piece up with dimensionals to give it a little bit more height. So I'm going to use the edge of this guy here, and I'll run him right down the middle of this and pop him up and put him right in the middle. Super cute. I love the pumpkin. You can create your own pumpkin with your ovals. You don't need a special die to get a pumpkin. I love the versatility of those layering oval framelits. They are fantastic. So now I'm going to bring in my fine tip glue pen to glue down my accent pieces for my pumpkin. So again, here is a piece from the Flourish Thinlits. Is that what they're called? Yes, the Flourish Thinlits dies. Mom says, what did you use for the pumpkins? These here, I used the smallest oval out of the layering oval framelits. So that is the smallest smooth oval out of the layering framelits. And I will show you here. Here they are, and while I have it out, I'll just put mine away. So I did use this smallest piece out of that. I love these ovals because they also have the scallops. These are beautiful to create sentiments with. I do that very, very often. That is probably 90% of the time I grab these, I am layering on a sentiment. All right, so I am going to use my fine tip glue pen, and I'm not going to put it on too thickly. I just want a little dot. Little dot goes a long way. Okay, so just some of the larger sections of that flourish, and I will grab onto that, and I'm going to tuck it in, and I'm going to give it a curve. So I'm curving it out towards the edge of the bookmark. And this guy's being slippery, so just set him down, give him a second to hold. If he doesn't want to hold for you, you can certainly add some more adhesive. There we go. Looks like we're in business there. Now I'm going to put my little leafy guy on, and I'm actually going to use a glue dot for that because I think that that would hold better and it will give it a little tiny bit of dimension. So I'm grabbing a glue dot on my paper piercer here, and I'm actually going to roll it into a little log. Pick that back up, and I'm going to put it on the spine of my leaf, like so. And now we can really angle this any direction we want. So let's see what looks the best. We could angle it so it's kind of coming off the side of the pumpkin. I think that's pretty cute. So I'm gonna leave him right there. Okay, let me put the cap back onto this glue pen before it dries out. There it is. Okay, so now time for the bat. I am going to use a glue dot on the bat as well. Love this little bat guy. He is so adorable. So I'm going to put him right over here. I don't want the pieces to go off of the edge of the bookmark too much, because if they go over too much, then it may bend when you put it into your book. So just keep that in mind when you are assembling. And we're going to pop up our sentiment with some dimensionals. So let me grab that out. Now for this, I really do like using the edge because it has the kind of triangular shape to it, and that works really well to curve. So I'm going to do a little curve with these, like so, and take off the backing, put that onto my project here. Now this does hang off the edges a little, but like I said, a little is okay. You just don't want it to go over too much. And we are almost done with project one. The last piece is to put some of this Halloween night baker's twine. I love this stuff. It is pumpkin pie mixed with basic black, and it is just gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is grab a length out, and I'm going to spread my fingers apart very wide and wrap that around a few times, 3 or 4. You don't have to get too crazy with it. So I'm snipping that off. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold it in half like this, okay? So we have our 2 cut ends down here, and I'm going to feed that through the front and open up those loops again. Okay, so here are my loops, and I'm just going to feed the tail that is still on the front sided back through those loops and pull it tightly, and that gives us our little floopies. What would you call those? Our little floopy guys that are on the front here. So I'm just going to cut those loops apart at the top, and then if you'd like, you can trim it so that they are relatively all the same length. And there we go, guys. There is our first bookmark. A sample we have here. This is my Spooky Fun card using the gorgeous Spooky Fun stamp set. This is a suite that comes bundled in the new catalog. So great. I mean, look at this tree, look at this fence, so many beautiful things in here. So out of this product today, we're using the pumpkins, we're using this little bat. There's 2 different ones, but we're using this guy today, and we are also using the sentiment, have some spooky fun. So, oh, and the spider, can't forget the little spider doodad guy. He's so cute. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of watercoloring. It's going to be a good time. How many of you guys have watercolored before? What are your thoughts? How do you do it? Let me know all of the juicy details on how you like to do your watercoloring. So let's see. Tammy says Donna is with us in the car. Oh, good. Good. I'm glad Donna is there with you guys. Cindy says bathroom break stall. Okay, I'm stalling for a moment. Go ahead. Mom says, where are you going? She's talking to Dan and Tammy. Valley, ooh, ceramics, fun. That one is on the way to me as we speak. I ordered that one too, not me. Okay, good. Some of you have purchased this Spooky Fun stamp set. Some of you have not. Well, you may change your mind after you see this card and how we watercolor these pumpkins, because it is so much fun. So the materials that we are using, of course, we have a standard card base. This is a piece of 8.5 by 11, which has been cut in half at 5.5 and scored in the middle at 4.25. So there's our standard card base. I'm going to bring you guys out just a little bit here, okay? Next, we have a piece of Whisper white cardstock. This measures 2 3/4 by 4.5. This is what we will be creating our DIY Designer Series paper with. I have a piece of Smoky Slate cardstock. This measures 3 inches by 4.5, and that will be layered underneath our DIY-DSP. And I also have a piece of basic black cardstock that measures 3.5 by 4.5, and that also will go underneath our project like so. Now, you will also need a scrap piece of basic black and Whisper white to do our little sentiment on the front of our card right here. So I have a couple of scraps to do that with as well. The colors I'm using, I have Pumpkin Pie, Old Olive, and Smoky Slate. I will also be using some of the basic black. Okay, so here we go. Well, let's get started with our little pumpkin guys first. So I have my Whisper white piece, 2 3/4 by 4.5. I will be stamping my pumpkins, and it just, look at how adorable those pumpkins are. If you don't purchase this set for anything else, just get it for these little adorable pumpkins. They are so cute. So because this is a directional card, I do still want a little bit of direction to my pumpkins, but I don't want them too uniform. So I am going to kind of twist and turn and go off and on the page so that I can still have that feeling of randomness on my card here. So just fill in a little bit of those spaces like so, and leave a little bit of room because we will be coming in with the adorable little bat, and on the opposite side of this block I do have my spider. So I'm going to do my 2 images again here. We've got the bat, so I'm just going to twist and turn him as I work my way down the paper. I am trying to make sure I don't put him right directly underneath those pumpkins because we are going to color in some shadow shading under our pumpkins. So I'm going to set the basic black aside for a moment. I'm going to bring in my Smoky Slate, and that is what I'm using to stamp my little spider guy. He is so cute, right? Is that watercolor paper? No, I am not using watercolor paper on this. However, that would be recommended. When you do use just the basic Whisper white paper to do any kind of watercoloring, you really want to make sure that you do not go over it several times because it will start to pill up on you. But if you don't do it too much, you won't have a lot of problems. So just bringing that little spider guy in every once in a while. And maybe one more right here. There. So cute. I love him. Now, I did actually color him in on my original, but I think I'm going to leave him kind of open on this one. So, on to the watercoloring. I am bringing in my aqua painter. Love, love the aqua painter. Tammy says, no spiders. Spiders, you know, this guy is cute though. He looks fuzzy and cuddly. He looks like he would just love to wrap up in a warm blanket with you and sit on the couch and drink some coffee or tea, right? He's adorable. So I'm bringing in my aqua painter. This comes with 2 different sizes, a large and a medium size. I'm going to use my medium size today. I'm going to take my pumpkin pie first, give it a little squeeze in the middle, and when you open it up, you'll have a lovely pool to work with. So let's go ahead and color in a few. I'm not going to do the whole thing because I just want to save a little bit of time, but I show you how to do this. So we just picked up some of that color on our aqua painter, and I like to start on the outside of the pumpkins because that is the part that I would think has more darkness, and then I just kind of fill it in until it is colored. And I am digging the watercoloring so much lately. It is one of my favorite techniques. It is so much fun. And this afternoon, if you're able to stay with us for this afternoon's Stamping Saturday session, you will get to see this in action again in a different technique. We're creating a background with this instead of coloring in a stamp. So just do a few for you. Again, I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I am going to clear this just by running it on paper. You can also run it on a paper towel or something similar until it runs clear. So I'm done with the orange. That is the pumpkin pie. I will be bringing in my old olive now. Both of these colors are from the Brights collection. So I just give it a little bit of squeeze so I can get some of that ink. Now on this, I want it very, very light because I'm doing some shading with it. So I start when I do my shading in the middle of the pumpkins because that's where it should be darkest. I give the bottom of each pumpkin a little shade and then I just run it out and down into a small section like so. So again, I'll do that one more time here. Pick some of that color up with your aqua painter, color in the middle, color underneath each pumpkin, and then run it out into almost like a V shape. So let me clean this off here until it runs clear. And we are done with the green. There's very small amount of green, but you can see the shading under those pumpkins and how easy it was with that aqua painter. So beautiful. Now I have already done one and I've colored everything in just to save a little more time. So here we are with that. I'm going to go ahead and layer these guys up together. Now I'm just going to use some snail. Don't need too much. Just a little bit will go a long way. So I'm going to center that onto my smoky slate. It looks like I may have cut my white piece just a touch too long. That's okay. Just grab some scissors or you can run it right on your trimmer and trim that sucker right off. No worries at all. See? Easy peasy. All right, now we will put that onto our basic black piece. And again, center it in the middle. When I was designing this card, I really liked the way that it didn't have a border on the top or the bottom, but I really enjoy this border on the sides. I just think that that is fun and lovely. I'm going to bring you guys out just a little here so we can finish watching the rest of this card come together. I have, let's see, Cheryl says, Tammy thought of yesterday when I had a spider in my shoe. Oh my goodness, in your shoe? No, no spiders in the shoes. She says you could bling the bats with Stella. Oh, good idea. I'm gonna actually this one is one that I did the other day, so it's already dry, but if you were to do this, let those bats dry a little bit before you go in with some Stella. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna bring you guys in. I don't know if you can see the transformation on the video or not, but in person it is so cute. Good idea. Always thinking about that bling. Love it. So I'm just going to color those bats in a little bit here just to give them a little bit of shine and blingy blingy. Mom knows how much I love my bling. All y'all do, right? All right, so there's a little bit of bling on those bats. Look at that shine and shimmer. Good idea. Oh, Mom wins the Creativity Award for today for suggesting another item to put onto this card to make it even more fabulous. Cindy says, why can't I see Tammy's comments? I'm not sure, Cindy. Do you have the video enlarged? You can see other people's comments, just not hers. I'm not sure. I wish I could help you guys. Mom says, just add a touch. Yes, it does. It just adds just a touch of blingy blingy. Love it. Okay, I'm going to bring back in my basic black stamp pad. I have my words already mounted, have some spooky fun. So we're going to put that onto our scrap of Whisper White. Now, I haven't really measured this. It's just a regular hand-cut banner. It can be as thick or as thin as you'd like. So this particular small piece measures about 1 inch by 2 3/4 inches. I may leave it that size. I may cut it down. I don't know. We'll see what happens, right? Okay, so I'm going to bring in my paper snips, which are very sharp, amazing tools. Cindy says, I can't see anyone else. So Cindy, because you can't see other people's comments, you may not be viewing the video large enough. Try clicking directly on the video to see if it expands. That should allow you to see other people's comments. If that doesn't work, I am at a loss. I will have to kind of look that up and see if there's something I can help with after the video ends. So to do my banner, I am going to cut up right in the middle towards my words, and then I'm just going to go from corner to cut to create that banner shape. Just like so. Ta-da! There's one edge there. So I'll do the other edge here. And again, same thing from corner to cut. You could also use a square punch if you have that, or a framelit from the Layering Squares framelits. Those would work just as well. Or you could use the Duet Banner Punch. So many options for you guys to do banners. All right, so now I'm going to see if this piece is going to work, and that, yeah, that looks like it's gonna work. Okay, I'm feeling that. So I'm gonna kind of do my banner a little differently today. So what I am going, Mom says can't see when enlarged, use phone 2. That is what I am doing. Or the banner, the banner triple punch would work also. I really need to look into getting that because I haven't gotten it yet, and I've seen a lot of really fun banners done with that. So I'm gonna do my banner a little differently today. I am going to put it directly onto my scrap piece of basic black first. Just like so, and I'm just lining up the top edge here. And then I will come in with some scissors and trim it. So this is definitely a almost completely hand-cut banner. So trim that side off. Okay, that kind of looks fun just the way it is, but I do want to get that banner effect with the black as well. So now I don't think I left myself enough over here because, as you can see, if I cut from the corner, it won't line up properly. So I'm gonna, you know what, let's just get creative with this process here, and I'm just going to cut it pretty much directly on the white so that I don't really have black on the banner on the outside. And you know what, do whatever you want to do. Do what feels right. Do what happens. Just let it happen. So I'm just going to give that another little snip so I can get that out. There, and now I just have a cute border on the top and the bottom. So I'll do the same thing down here with the other side. And I'm just going to follow my white banner line. There we go. Give it a little bit more. I'm always, you know, sometimes you don't want to cut in too far because you don't want to cut into the edge of the banner, but there we go. So really, you can do your banner however you like. I do enjoy having just the top and the bottom. It just gives the card a little bit something different. It's a little different from our original. You can see here our original banner. Which do you guys prefer? Let me get them put together and then we will figure out which one we like better. Okay. Excuse me. Now I am going to put on some of these other Halloween Night Baker's Twine. This is with gray and black. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Now I really like the way that I, on my original card, had it going kind of like, it looked like a fence to me, and I thought that that was really cute. So I'm going to do the same thing. So we will do straight lines across. We'll do 3 of those. And on the back, it looks like this. It looks like a hot mess on the back, but don't worry, nobody's going to see that. So I'm going to hold it here so that I can tie my knot and my bow, but I'm going to trim off some of that twine. And now I will try and get my knot going so that it stays in place. And I like my bows off to the center. Very rarely do I put them in the middle. I just like how it looks off to the side. So I'm going to do a double knot so it stays together first. There we go. And now let's attempt a bow. Everybody that has been to my Stamping Saturdays before knows how much trouble I have with my bows with my fingernails. So I think we're in business. Look at that. First go. So proud of myself. Uh-oh, he's a little wompy now. Oh, I spoke too soon. That's okay. Just give it a little bit of fussing. I won't fuss too much with it on the live video, but that is, I may have to redo him later, but there. Not too bad. I can live with that. All right. Mom is saying a page number. Grandma says matches the card sides. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It matches the way that I have this card laid out. My banner kind of mimics that, which is really fun, except it's on the top and bottom. So yeah, good eye, Grandma. Very nice. So now what I'm going to do is pop this up with some, you guessed it, dimensionals. So I have a little scrap here, and now I am done with that sheet. I can throw that away. And bringing in some more dimensionals. We'll just put a couple on this side here and get this ready to pop up on our card. This card is very, very quick. I think the longest part is probably watercoloring your pumpkins. And for me, probably doing my banner. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you can really put it wherever you want. I think I am going to bring it down a touch, and I want to try and line it up so that my banner edges over here are even with the sides of the card. Now, this card is not going to be complete until we add some bling to it. I'm grabbing out my rhinestones and my peeper piercer. And let's put a couple large guys on either side of the sentiment. Love, love my bling. Blingy, blingy, bling. Okay, and there we go. So far, so good. Last step is to adhere it to our card base. So I am going to actually bring in my fast fuse for that, just because there are a lot of layers on this. I want to make sure that it has a very good adhesion. There's my adhesion word again. I used that on my last Stamping Saturday, I think. All right, so a few strips of that on that side. And bringing in the card, I'm just going to kind of line it up in the middle. And there we go. All done. What do you guys think of this card? Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the thin banner down lower or the thicker banner? Now, I will say that I actually do prefer this card because I have the smaller banner. I can see more of that background that I worked so hard to create. But there is also a fun quality about the thicker portion as well. I kind of like how it stands out. It really stands out. My eye is drawn to that first on here, whereas on this card it is drawn to the pumpkins, of course, because they are glorious and wonderful.